So you're on the Instagram scene, you're looking at different strategies and you're looking at how you can grow, and you're seeing some strategies are free, some strategies are paid. On this video, we're gonna talk about what is the cost of 1,000 followers. My name is Anthony. I run an Instagram marketing agency and also run a 1 million follower network on Instagram. And I make videos like this to help you take your Instagram account from 0 to hero. So make sure you subscribe because this is the Instagram Hub. So if you're on the Instagram scene, you know how important it is to be gaining followers. In fact, that's probably why you're here watching this video. You're probably trying to gain followers. Well, in this video, we're gonna go over exactly what followers cost with what strategies. More importantly, how much does 1,000 followers cost on Instagram to gain? So this video comes from a question from one of you guys. We'll throw the question up here and it goes as this. Hey Anthony, love your videos and appreciate all the work you put in. I have a question though. If I am working with a client who is wanting to grow at 500 to 1,000 real followers a month, how much should they budget roughly to ensure those results? So on this video, we're gonna be talking about exactly roughly about how much 1,000 followers is going to cost. Now, the first thing I wanna address in this question is that you can't go ahead and just put a blanket statement on how much 1,000 followers are going to cost. There's a few things that we need to take into consideration. We need to take into consideration the strategy that you're gonna be using to gain the followers. Those are gonna have different costs associated with it, and the quality of and the quality of followers it is that you want, because that will also be a difference in price. So I know maybe some of you right now are probably saying, what do you mean, how much is 1,000 followers going to cost? You just follow and follow some people and it costs nothing. It costs whatever the monthly subscription for your software is to automate the entire process. And yeah, that's one way of gaining 1,000 followers. You can go ahead, you can follow and follow, and at that rate, you know, follow and follow, if you have your settings right, you can probably gain 1,000 followers in a month, and it would cost you either nothing if you're doing it by hand, or whatever the tool it is that you're using, whatever that costs you for the month, and that would be your cost for 1,000 followers. However, you have two issues there. You have a quality of followers issue. The followers you're getting from follow and follow are not the highest quality followers you can get. And you also have a scalability problem. You can only gain so much followers through follow and follow. You can only follow so many people per day, and Instagram keeps lowering the amount of people that you can follow over time. So over time, the strategy is getting even less and less effective. So let's go over how you can gain 1,000 followers for free. You can gain 1,000 followers for free by doing follow and follow by hand, but you could do something a little better, something that's not going to get followers that follow you just because they feel bad or because it's immoral. You could do something like the $1.80 strategy, where you're going ahead and you're commenting on people's pictures. You could like other people's pictures, and all this stuff will get you to 1,000 followers, and it will cost you nothing if you're doing it by hand, but what it will cost you is a considerable amount of time, and you're also going to be cutting yourself short on the quality of followers it is that you're getting. The next step up from that, I would say, could be something like an Instagram gain train. If you did an Instagram gain train, it's probably going to be free. You're probably not going to be paying for those. You're going to be joining those gain train groups, and you're going to gain 1,000 followers extremely fast. Very, very fast. And it's only going to take you a little bit of time, not as much time as going ahead and manually doing comments or liking or following. It's going to take you time, but not that much time. But what you are sacrificing on is completely the quality of followers. Your quality of followers from commenting or following people is going to be much higher than from people who you're gaining from gain trains, because those people don't care about your content at all. So while you are making up for the time spent, you are really cutting yourself short on the quality of followers. And just for the record, I never recommend gain trains for any situation unless you're just kind of like having some fun playing around on an account you don't care about, just experimenting. Now from there, we can get into, are you going to be growing using viral methods, or are you going to be growing using ads or influencers or something like that? Because these are also two very different scenarios. So if we take the viral growth, we'll start with the viral growth. If you are going to be growing this account through hashtags and through viral content, 1,000 followers in a month is not hard at all to do, especially if you know what you're doing. 1,000 followers per month would be on the low end. So your only cost for that would be whatever it is that you're using. If you're using nothing but DM groups and you didn't pay anything to get in those DM groups, then you could be going viral completely for free like that. However, just DM groups alone sometimes are not enough. So maybe you're adding power likes on it, maybe you're adding power saves or power comments or whatever services it is that you're adding. So at that rate, your 1,000 followers is is going to cost whatever those services cost per month. If you gain 1,000 followers per month and all you're running is maybe a power like service, let's say that costs $200 or $300 per month, then you could say your 1,000 followers cost $300 per month. However, if you're going viral, you're probably going to be gaining a lot more than 1,000 followers per month. So from there, it would make the cost a lot more worth it. And I would say viral growth is probably some of the cheapest growth you can do, because as long as you know what you're doing, you only need a few services. It could cost you $200 to $300 a month, maybe even less if you already have other systems in place. And you could really grow exponentially if you know what you're doing, you know your niche, and you know the content it is that you're supposed to post. And then moving from viral growth and moving into influencers / ads, stuff like that. It's basically promotions. Now you're moving into something that's a lot more predictable, especially once you have your ad set down right and you using kind of the same influencers or rotating through a same style of influencer. You'll start to really kind of have a system down where you kind of know what it is that you're going to get. At that rate, it's basically running your numbers. Every niche is different, and some people grow a lot faster from shoutouts and ads than other accounts will. This is kind of like a niche thing. It's also an influencer thing. If you're promoting on a very good influencer, you will gain a lot more followers than if you accidentally purchase shoutouts from a shitty influencer. You could buy one shoutout for $60 and that could go ahead and perform very well and gain you over 1,000 followers on that one post alone. Right there, you could have gained 1,000 followers for $60. But maybe you're in a more difficult niche, maybe your ad set isn't that good, maybe the influencer isn't that good, and maybe it takes you 4 or 5 shoutouts to gain 1,000 followers, maybe then it costs you $250, $300 to gain 1,000 followers. So those are basically your options for growth. Those are the growth options that you are going to have, and you need to basically select one. You need to know one that you're going to run with, and then from there you'll get the costs down right. If you're going viral, then you kind of know it's just whatever your monthly software costs are, whatever your power likes are, whatever that stuff costs per month. If it's growing with influencers, then it's what are your shout out rates? What is that costing and how is that converting for you? But in the beginning, the most important thing, how much money should you set aside? You should set aside a good decent amount. It's going to take some testing, and it's going to take a lot of testing, and more testing. You're going to need to test your ad sets. You're going to need to test influencers. You're going to need to test what performs well, test what converts followers. It's going to be a lot of testing. Once all that testing is done and you're done experimenting, then you will kind of have a system that you know works well for you. It doesn't mean it's going to work well for another account. It doesn't mean if you're doing this for travel and you find out that travel is costing you about $400 per 1,000 followers, it doesn't mean you could take that and go straight into fashion and go and start doing that. It's going to be all new ad sets and an all new game. Each niche is a new game to Instagram unless you're going viral. Like if you're going viral, same principles apply. It's just different styles of content. If you're doing shoutouts or ads, it's going to be different promotions or advertisements you're doing. But for 1,000 followers, I would say you'd be very safe setting aside $500 for the first month. $500 should definitely get you well over 1,000 followers if you know what you're doing and after your testing is done. After your testing is done, you could probably stretch that money even further. Now, remember, this is for the vast majority of you. I'm trying to go ahead and think for everybody's situation. So I have to take all these different growth strategies into account. I think a good number across the board, no matter what growth strategy you're using, for 1,000 followers, probably set aside about $500. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you drop it a like and drop it a comment of what you think below. When you drop it a comment, you're also entered to win a one-on-one coaching call with me. I announce winners every week on my Instagram story. So make sure you like the video, comment the video, and follow my Instagram if you want to win a one-on-one Instagram coaching call with me. For any of you guys who are looking for A to Z, how do you grow your Instagram and how do you make money from it, I put together an advanced Instagram training. It's pretty long, a little too long for YouTube, so we made its own page. You can book a spot and I'll leave it linked in the description below. With all that said, keep grinding, keep hustling, and I'll see you all on the next one.